third quarter, like we were dominant for a reason. Our senior, the guy that everybody look at, everything, Mr. Elias Williams, came in our huddle, man, and literally took the huddle over. Like we were talking in that huddle, at one point in the third quarter, and big man came in there and started talking, and Coach Thompson and myself looked at each other. We just took a step back because it's like that's what we need.
Welcome to the Wildcat Show, brought to you by Bennett Automotive Group. Hi, I'm Calvin Wilson, and I'm here with the Camden County Wildcats head coach, Travis Roland. We're going to jump right into the Colquitt game, the recap of the Colquitt game. Coach, just give me what you got.
Kids finally fought. We talked about, of our other 3 region games prior to this. We won one of them against Richmond Hill. And the other 2, when things went bad, we didn't necessarily fight as coaches or players. So everybody had been challenged. My biggest thing was, man, allow us to coach you through some things and allow your athleticism to help us coaches get through some situations, right? Because players need coaching and coaches need athletes to make plays.
No doubt.
And so I thought, finally, this year, we showed that we had that true Wildcat fight in us, that true Camden County spirit where, we got down, blocked the field goal into the second half, into the first half, returned it for a touchdown, came out in the beginning of the third quarter, and got a 3 and out, went right down and scored. And so, you talk about, especially in football, you want to be able to win the last 4 minutes of the first half and then win the first 4 minutes of the second half. And I thought we did a good job of that. Even our offense, we got a great screenplay called on that first third down of the game. We ended up throwing a pick 6 on that, and I thought our offense did a good job of coming back and responding with a 11-play touchdown drive to make the game even. So, again, I thought we played well, man. It's tough because, moral victories do nothing for you,
right?
But make you mad. That's really what they do because you realize the opportunity you kind of let slip away, and then we got to be better, like I said, as coaches and players to make sure we get the result we desire.
Well, I love what you said about that middle 8, 4 and 4, but I'm thinking now that I look at, because I'm hearing everybody say that more and more in football. Forget the middle 8. The whole game. Let's just win the whole game. Because I think a lot of coaches and I'm not saying you or other, I'm just saying coaches because I've been hearing it. More and more this year, the middle 8, and it sounds good when you have the ball and you can score, and then you get it back and you can score.
Yeah.
All that sounds good, but how about if you lose the middle 8? That's not the game.
Yep.
The game is the whole game.
Yeah,
defensively, oh man, their running game just seemed, because quarterbacking wise, throwing the ball, they did a couple of trick plays or whatever, but as far as the passing game wasn't work, but the running game for us, it was kind of tough for us to handle. I think it was like mostly players out of position.
We did a good. It was tough. We didn't do a good job of their backs. Let me first start there. They do a good job of trusting the scheme and trusting where the hole is, or where the front side hole is supposed to be,
back.
And then understanding where the back side hole is supposed to be. And so I think the biggest part is teaching patience. That's a great skill that their backs have. It's a skill that Hardy and Antoine for us both show that they have. And if you're not patient enough when you're backside of a run to stay in your gap and not get nosy and try to get on the other side of the football or trying to go make a play, those guys will hurt you. And I think a few times that happened to us, whether we hopped out of a gap or whether we didn't secure the edge like we're supposed to. And again, you always want some things back. Maybe you could have done better. We could have done better as coaches to make the ball go in a couple more different places where we wanted it to go. So we just got to be better at it. Got to tackle better. There's times where we letting these backs who don't weigh above 200 pounds fall forward either. So we got to be more physical when we make plays, and just got to be able to make more plays, because when people start running the football like that and you playing 9-on-9. That ends up being man on man. And, we're gonna coach it. But we got to end up making plays too. So I think for everybody, we got to figure out ways to create. We got to figure out ways as coaches to get an extra hat in there to create some havoc, and then we got to make a play or two. And as again, we did it in the third quarter.
Right.
Like we talked before we start this thing. Like we got to win the whole game. We got to play good defense the whole game. And so that's something I think both defenses struggle with, stopping the runs. I think we ran for over 200 yards. I'm sure they had over 200 yards as well. So it's something we both got to kind of get better at.
And like offensively, let's go to the turnovers. What was the turnover ratio?
So let's see. A block. We turned them over twice.
Okay.
And they turned us over 3 times. We scored twice on defense. They scored once on their defense. And then the other one, I mean, if you get a pick to the 8-yard line, that might as well be a pick six. And then we fumbled going in to score. We're on about the 30, 35-yard line. We tried to put the ball on the ground. So they want to turn over about one. We had more points because we scored. But they, a running game like that, getting the ball in the 8, it's like if you play Richmond Hill and you get an offensive ball on the 8-yard line, they're probably going to score 9 times out of 10. So, turnovers hurt you, and then we had a couple, I think 2 or 3 bad snaps on punts where they got some short fields. One of the things we looked at heavily was, should we have took a safety? We're backed up right there in the fourth quarter, down by 2 already. You could say yes, but then they still would have got the ball back. I worked off of, we had blocked the field goal and blocked the extra point. So I was like, okay, we're playing pretty good football right now. We can punt the ball and we'll hold it to a field goal attempt. And, because he's gotten 2 of them blocked, he might miss. Obviously, we ended up giving up a touchdown off a little Sally play, but, that was kind of, hindsight's always 20/20. And we actually missed the extra point. I have no idea how we missed it on that one because we were right over the ball. It kind of went up under us. But, turnovers are always going to be big in football.
So we lost by how much?
Ended up being 9.
9 points.
And he hit 3 field goals.
We lost. Okay, and we lost the turnover battle. Yeah. And they stuck in there.
Yep.
But we're gonna look at the player of the game. We're gonna go with Jordan Hardy.
Okay.
The player of the game is brought to you by Jane Brown, your local State Farm agent, located in Kingston, Georgia.
Man, Hardy had 24 carries for 195 or 141. I'm sorry, 24 carries for 141. I mean, right here, man, you just see kid's got great burst. Does a phenomenal job. Like I said, trusting his hole, bouncing and getting up in there. I mean, you see him. He does some special things for us, man. Like I've been surprised all year long at how well he's running inside. I mean, he makes sure he double covers right here. That cut right there, another cut there. I mean, like, he was very close to hitting some big ones.
It's a couple of times he scared me because he was jumping over people. And, man, he really fought, Friday night. He fought.
He's running like a man possessed. He wants to get to the next level. He wants our team to continue to play football. And so he will love for us to put it on him. You see the balance, man. He's already, guys got to hand him. You can see him looking, already setting that spin move up, and then just always trying to find a way to have another big time run. I mean, the kid is he's been phenomenal for us this year, man, just with some of the runs he's had. I mean, he's making people miss in the open field, popping up from even big hits. With just kind of how he's playing. So he's a kid that we got to continue to feed as our season goes on. I mean, right there, this kid making something out of nothing. His feet just never, ever, 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 ever stop. What he's doing. Him and the O-line are in great places right now. He's running through arm tackles. Again, like I say, for him to be so light, you don't expect him to do the things he's doing in the sense of how well he's running the football. So,
well, I missed this Monday as far as practice, but the past 2 Mondays I've been out there and I've been watching y'all run these sprints, these 40-yard sprints.
Oh, yeah.
He never loses.
No.
And he's running hard.
Yep.
Every single time.
Yep.
He's running hard. I can't say that about everybody, but these are kids, but he's running.
Oh, yeah.
And he may be the fastest, one of the fastest kids on the team, if not the fastest. Yep. And he's running, he's showing that, and he's leading as a senior. Well, we want to put this game behind.
Praise God.
Put this game behind. Tiff County is up on board, and we want to talk about Tiff County and their offense. We'll start with their quarterback.
Yeah, Damian Dixon, man, sophomore. I think that he's probably the most. You got Todd at Valdosta, Johnson guy at Lowndes, doing a good job as a quarterback. And I think this kid here is one of the more mobile guys, does a good job. Eyes are always downfield. Like, there's times, man, on film, he tucks it like he's about to run, but he's looking up and he sees a guy come out of coverage, he's dumping over the top. So he's a kid that's done a good job leading them as a sophomore, I think, and that they've gotten better weekly. And so we got to make sure we keep tabs on him.
If you put him in the same breath as them two, I'm just telling you now.
He can run. And he's only a sophomore. He can run.
He can run.
Yeah.
The boy from Valdosta does a great job running their offense.
The offense, yeah.
But the kid from Lowndes County,
yeah, yes sir.
he has a rifle. Yes, he is probably 15, 16 years old, and he's 6'4" with a cannon.
Yeah.
And I love that kid.
Oh yeah, no, he can play. Yeah, and I said this kid here, just the mobility of him is what's kind of getting them going a little bit. And they, because what they do, they haven't scored a bunch of points,
right?
But what they've done is, even in not scoring, they've got enough first downs to where the clock ticks away, and the defense,
possession.
and they limit the possessions.
Yeah.
And so that's why some of the scores, like, Lowndes was able to score, beat them 26-7, Colquitt 35-17, but against Richmond Hill and against Valdosta last week, they were able to kind of get some first downs and take 2, 3, 4 minutes off the clock and then punt the ball away. And so that's kind of how they've kept some of the scores to be so close that they've done.
And so he has a wide receiver.
Yep.
Number 11.
Receiver number 11, Hayes. He's got 36 catches of the 80 that they've completed. So he's a kid that's got almost, he probably about 40 to 50% of the receptions for the team. So you got to know where he's at, because obviously, in an offense where it's run heavy, they're going to have their guy. And so, our 11 and their 11 will get acquainted with each other, and so we can put best on best and see what kind of game they'll have. So gotta keep eyes on him. Then number 9, a running back. He's the leading rusher, leading him in touchdowns, and I think he's a kid that, again, because you have to worry about the quarterback, you got to make sure with the zone read stuff. He's a kid that will press and bounce and bend it back. So again,
he's running hard.
Yeah, and I know they may see we have talent on film, but at the same time, if we're giving up stuff, they're gonna say we can come in and run the football. And it's gonna be up to us. Much like coming off the Valdosta game where they were able to run the football effectively, we had to show Richmond Hill that we were going to be physical enough up front and play. We got to do the same thing this week.
And then we're going to go on the other side of the ball. They got a kid that plays safety.
Oh yeah,
he can do it
13,
all.
man, physical kid.
He can do
man.
it all. He's a hit stick.
He's come up and pop guys in every game. If it's a blocker, it's a runner, a receiver.
And he had ball skills.
Oh yeah, he do. They put him on offense to do some to do even more Wildcat stuff. So you can tell he's an electric kid. They want to get the ball in his hands to allow him to run and do some things. So he's somebody that on defense going to have to keep an eye on with how physical he is. And I think the 2 outside linebackers, man, number 5 and number 8, are 2 physical kids as well. So they're not going to want to lose. Nobody want to go 0-5 in the region. They want to win a game in the region, and they want to be the party poopers. They know if we win, the chance we give ourselves to be a playoff team. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be excited about that opportunity to be able to try to ruin our whole season.
Wow. Hey, look. So now we're going to talk about us, because us is all we got. I mean, we're going to talk about us, and I talked about rhythm earlier. We have to be on rhythm to like really be good. But the good and the great teams, they find a way of win find a way of winning without being in rhythm. Somebody picks up somebody. And we have to understand that if the special team's not on, if the defense is not on, the offense got to be on, or somebody has to make an individual play.
Right.
And what you think in this week of preparation for them?
I can tell you in the third quarter, like, we were dominant for a reason. Our senior, the guy that everybody look at, everything, Mr. Elias Williams, came in our huddle, man, and literally took the huddle over. Like, we were talking in that huddle at one point in the third quarter, and Big Man came in there and started talking, and Coach Thompson and myself looked at each other. We just took a step back, because it's like, that's what we need. And that's where you saw us kind of take. I think we ended up with 3 or 4 stops in the third quarter, and it's because a kid like him was like, "Hey, we're gonna do this as a group of players. We're gonna come out here. We're gonna be physical. We're gonna play together. 11 hats to the ball." And so, big credit to him for stepping up and recognizing that, because again, a kid like that that's got everything in front of him already sold up. He's showing, though, that this means something to him and that he want to be there. And I think that was a big part of the rhythm we got into in the third quarter, and it's going to be a big part of why we'll have the ability to stay in rhythm as the season continues to go on, and going into Friday night, he could be a guy that can lead us and make those individual plays for us.
And Friday night is senior night.
Yes, sir.
Man, senior night for the seniors, for all the seniors. How many seniors you have this year, Coach?
49.
God,
49.
49. We was gonna talk about. Listen, we were gonna talk about the seniors we can't talk about all the seniors.
It would be for 3 hours.
Yeah,
49 of them, yeah.
But I do want to talk about some of your senior starters and the ones that contribute. And I want to find out at the end of all those guys that you talk about, I want to find out about a kid that exemplifies what you're trying to build in the program, as far as he may not be talented enough, or he may not be talented enough at that position. It might be stacked against him, but he comes to practice every single day and he works his butt off.
Shoot, I'll start there, man. Like there's 2 kids that come to mind right away, and one of them happened yesterday. Man, we got a kid named Joseph Jones, plays O-line. You know, I think we have in the program, there's 40-something O-linemen from 10 through 12. And I think a good 15 to 20 of them are seniors. And Joseph Jones yesterday, he's down there on the bike and claw group that we have mixed up. And I was about to take him out. And Coach, if you would have saw the look that he gave me, because I was about to take him out of practice as a scout guy.
Wow.
Like, he looked at me like, no, you're not. I will fight you out here today, Coach, if you take me out. And that showed me that that's a kid that's like, I'm doing my job. I'm on a scout team, but I'm giving you in this program, in this county, everything I got, and you're not finna take me out.
I know this kid. His mama a Wildcat, his daddy a Wildcat, his family's been Wildcat. Yep. So, I mean, and I graduated with his mom and his dad, and it's funny how you brought him up, but yeah, he's a Wildcat.
Yep,
he's been one since he's been a baby, and so for that's good.
So that just shows the kind of kids we have in the program, that even if I know I'm not getting on this field, I know at practice I can do something to help my program. And that's what you want. When we talk about being for Camden, that's what we mean right there. Like, he's truly the family acronym, right? Forget about me, I love you. That's what he's doing. Because he could easily be like, I ain't coming to practice. Or, yeah, sure, I'll go out. You know, I don't care. I'm not playing the game on Friday. But, no, he's invested enough to be able to do that. And then I think another kid is David Martinez, whose brothers play here. One of them is at Alcorn right now. Martinez was a linebacker for us. That position got stacked. He ended up wanting to switch to offense, playing tight end. You know, Elias is over there with Josh Locklear, who's a senior over there. And then we've, moved some O-linemen there to have big O-line sets. But he's, again, a kid that's come to practice every single day and gives us everything he's got. You know, him and a kid named Jacob Vera, same thing. Those are guys that are seniors that show up every day. You know, they're leaders when they need to be. They speak up at times, whether it's keeping the weight room clean, keeping the locker room clean. So guys like those, man, are program kids that you love, that you want to continue you want the season to keep going for guys like that, because they deserve it. They put in the work just like everybody else.
But see, those are the guys that programs are built on.
Yes, sir.
We look down 4 or 5 years down the road, and you'd be like, man, this kid, somebody followed this kid's footstep, which is great.
Yes, sir.
Now let's talk about some of your other seniors. I mean, any of them you want to speak about, Coach?
Oh, man, obviously, David, I talked about David Turner earlier. He's going to always come to mind because of making a position switch. You know, O-line's not the sexy spot that everybody wants, but it's the spot now. If I had to tell you the seniors that don't have scholarship offers, the person I've received the most phone calls from college coaches about, it's him. You know, because he's 6'6" and is gaining weight at a crazy rate right now.
I got a question. Could he play tight end?
Probably could too, yeah, absolutely. Because he's super athletic.
Someone called me and
he's a kid that can run well, man. But Malachi Mowen, a senior undersized guy that's made a bunch of plays.
Defensive lineman,
always right. Has graded out, I think, at like 90 and 95% every single game. We all know how tough Coach Mays is when he grades. So, like, if you grade out that high, you obviously doing things the right way.
No doubt.
Obviously, you got a kid like Jonathan Brown, who's a part-time corner for us that's making plays. He's on special teams being electric for us. Jordan Hawk is another kid, unsung hero, out there. Anthony Green, ultimate leader for us on the offensive line. Has played center, plays guard, can play tackle. Tazio Rosso, another senior. Our O-line is those 4 guys up front have led us a lot this year.
Running it.
The running game has been a very good, consistent, and constant for us. And so again, those are guys that you can depend on over and over and over and over again. They like clockwork, man. They're gonna be there, ready to go weekly. And I think those are guys that we can continue to depend on to make plays for us as things go. Wayne Ostella's had a good football season for us. I think Jam Daly, man, he's blown up. You know, the coach that offered him last week called me today because he a little nervous after seeing him make that interception. He's like,
somebody else gonna
start calling. After he's seen a return where he goes out and makes a play like that. So just the senior class has been great for us, man. I think they know where we're at right now, the opportunity we have. They know last year. They went into it last year the same week, had to win to get in. I pray to God we don't go in at halftime like last year. They were down 20-0 and had the amount of crazy comeback. But they're built for a moment like this to make a career-defining victory to get us where we got to get to.
Well, I love what you said about that. I mean, your seniors and the rest of the players are ready to go, but there's one thing that the seniors have to understand. Coach, when was your last game?
December 12th, 2000. High school?
No, high school no. High school?
Yeah,
let's talk high school first.
High school was December 12th, 2003.
And you won what?
State championship, thank God.
So your last game as a high school. So when you go back to reunions, because you just had a 20, you know what we
talk about. Yeah.
What?
That's what we talk about.
Who they talk about? Yeah, who do they talk about?
We talking about that team.
But
for sure.
What players? You one of the players?
Blessed what I was, thank God. But that's definitely, you're gonna be remembered.
But this is the greatest thing. If you were a part of the team, like the older you get, you can start telling lies and everything about how you was a part of the team because you were a part of the team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But think about this. Okay, now your last college football game.
Yeah. Florida Classic 2008. Yeah.
Did y'all win?
No, sir.
Okay, how that felt?
Sir.
How that felt?
Fam put it on the
Do they talk about that sometimes? When y'all get together.
You gonna talk about that? Oh yeah.
Do you talk about who played their butt off and who did?
Leroy Van, man.
But some people, y'all ain't even mention because they had no impact on the game.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. I just don't want any of these seniors to have the James Harden effect. And James Harden, this is what I mean by that. James Harden is a guy that shoots 30, 40 times a game. But when it came to seventh game, this man shot the ball 12 times. I'm just saying, you don't want your last game to be thought of as I didn't give my all as a senior. I'm telling you, my senior year, we lost in the Elite 8 by 2 points.
Rough.
Man, that thing haunted me every single day. I did everything I could, but it still haunts me because you will always remember the last game that you played in any sport.
Yes, in any sport.
When it's competitive and they keeping score, you will always remember that. And I think it's going to be so important for these seniors to come out hot.
You still in my pregame speech because we definitely gonna talk about be remembered. Like you good, but it's true.
It is what it is.
It's how do you want to be remembered?
It is what it is, and some won't be remembered.
Yeah, you got to finish the right way. When you talk about your class, it's up to those guys that are playing, right? Like we talked about the seniors that don't get to play, that come every day and show up. They're depending on you
to get them there.
That's a starter as a senior to help their class be remembered. They like those guys that graduated with Marley and Denigel, they appreciate those guys because even though they did lose in the fourth round of the playoffs, they appreciate those guys for getting their senior class back to the fourth round. Because you can take solace in saying, as much as you wanted to get to a state championship, at least we know we gave ourselves to one of the very, very last possible weekends to play high school football. Our class did that. And our class was the first, I think they were the first ones to do it since that 08, 09 when they went and won it. So that's something these guys, I hope they understand as seniors that all 49 of them are depending on each other to make this class be remembered and to get to where they want to get to.
And even bigger than that is I think we're probably 99% sure that even if we win and Richmond Hill win, that we won't play another game here in this stadium.
Yeah, you're not playing. This is it.
So guess what? Some of you kids been playing here
all your life
since you were 5 and 6 years old, and now they play flag football. So maybe 3
all your life
in the stadium, and this could be your last game in the stadium.
Oh, it is. Yeah, like you said, no matter what.
Oh, this is your last game.
Us getting in the playoffs, unless there's 2 4 seeds that go on, win, upset people and win. This will be the last game for these seniors. In this
I'm picking a win.
Oh, yeah.
You can't lose in your own home in your last game.
Absolutely.
It's like letting somebody come into your house and not taking the remote, taking your wife and your kids, and you can't do nothing about it. You sitting there watching it. So that would never happen with me. I promise you that. But all I'm saying is you got to have that mindset that you're not protecting your house. You're protecting your name. Yeah. You're protecting everything you believed in as a kid growing up in this area. And so I won't be there this Friday night, and I got something else. I got another game I'm doing, but I really believe, and that was predicated on I was thinking that we were going to be in. Oh, yeah. But hey, man, I just hope that all the crowd come out and give these kids who've been playing for the last 13, 14 years, maybe in the stadium.
Yep. They will appreciate you.
Yeah, all that they appreciate
need. You. They appreciate you weekly.
Come pull for them every week, and I think Coach will have them prepared, and they'll do what they're supposed to do. And then we gotta hope that Richmond Hill can
control the controllables, baby.
That's all.
We're gonna be okay.
We win, and then
we're gonna do what we're supposed
happens.
to do, and we let the chips fall with it, man. But we're gonna make sure we do what we're supposed to do. Send this senior class out the right way, and then get ready for what we got to get ready for.
Well, they can send themselves out the right way.
Hey, man. They do play. Coaches play us.
Because they got a lot to do with it. No. I'm saying we're going to put the emphasis on the coaches, but we're going to put it on both because the coaches can't go out there and play, and the players can't coach.
Yes, sir.
And so with that being said, y'all join us Friday, Coach.
7:30. The senior night festivities start at 7:00, where they'll start calling the names for these young men. Come out and support them.
49 of them.
Come
early.
I think band is a part of it. Cheers a part of it. So it'll be a crowded house because of it. Because again, that's a memorable place out there, man. That's a place where so many different memories have been made. You know, moms, dads have graced that field. Grandparents.
Now your son gracing the field.
Yeah, he got that gracing it. He play a full. Him and Coach Grist's son play a full football game on the sideline over there. But man, like I said, people have created memories already. And for some of these kids, this is the last time they'll be out there on that field, even after a victory, because of our playoff journey, how it will be. So let's make sure we come out and support them, man, and turn the lights off the right way and enjoy the moment that we'll be in, and then get ready for what's next.
Thank y'all for joining us this week.